Welcome to B2B with Randy and Craig, where we speak to local entrepreneurs and learn about their journey. Welcome to B2B, where we discuss the rise, the falls,
and the kicking up.
No. This is a family show. I tell you that every week.
Every week.
You're not saying that.
Every week.
We cannot do that. Hey, I'm here with Janine Gentile. I didn't even tie my tongue in a knot from Adventureland. We're looking forward to hear from you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Very excited to be here.
Well, you're going to be very excited because we have a lot of important questions. The first thing we got to ask is, why amusement parks? Why amusement parks?
Why amusement parks? Who doesn't love an amusement park, first of all?
Craig, you like it?
I like that answer.
Are you afraid of roller coasters?
No, I love roller coasters.
Okay.
Second, why amusement parks? It's in our family. It's been in our family for years. The family got involved back in the 70s.
So who's the family? Your grandfather started? Grandmother? Grandparents?
My grandfather and his brother, they actually they saw an ad in a newspaper. They responded to that ad to get involved in the restaurant part of the amusement park.
So the Adventureland was it Adventureland back then? Was it called?
That's a good question. I don't think
We're going to look that up next time. That information we need next. We don't know what it was called. So,
it's been Adventureland for quite a few years. The logo's changed quite a few times. The
Alfie wasn't there
landscape
yet.
has 100. Oh no, he had a brother way back when.
Oh really?
Oh, wow. Well,
Albert.
Well, first of all, we're jumping around.
Yes.
Alfie is the mascot
Yes.
for Adventureland.
Correct.
He had a brother that's no longer involved. They had an argument, whatever. What happened?
He got retired.
Right.
He got a
he was
makeover.
forced to early retirement.
Got a makeover.
Right. He was forced to early retirement. But let's go back. So now your grandfather and his brother see an ad for amusement park opening, and they want to run the restaurant portion of it. That's where I cut you off.
Yeah. So they saw this ad in the newspaper for the restaurant. They got involved in the restaurant of the amusement park, and as the years went on, they were slowly able to get involved into the game department and then into the snack stand department. And before you knew it, they just had their hands in the
everything.
whole park.
So initially, they were a vendor for food. And they held that. Then they went, the game room where you cash in the
Arcade.
tickets and things. Right, exactly. And you spend the money and you get a rubber spider.
Yeah.
One of those things. I always get the rubber spider. All right, so then came the amusement park. So I have a question. Fast forward to today. What is Adventureland known for? What is it?
Family fun. Family fun for everyone.
Family fun.
Craig, don't you do the videotaping? Some of that.
Yeah, I'm actually very proud to kind of they're family owned and operated business, and I pride ourselves on being a family owned and operated. And just when two businesses kind of connect on that level, I think it helps everybody. Now, me personally, as you already know, I am the undisputed cinematography champion of the world, and Randy's known for having big windows.
Egress, big windows.
Big windows. Stop staring.
And a big mouth.
Yeah. So does Adventureland have a motto, slogan that comes along with it?
I always say family fun for everyone.
Family fun for everyone.
From grandparents to 2-year-olds to infants who are not even walking yet. There's the train, there's the roller coasters, family rides, kiddie rides, thrill rides. There truly is something
I have a question
for everyone.
about all these rides. So we went from a big distance. We went from your grandfather and his brother taking over, slowly taking over the park. So what was their first big move? Was it a ride that's still there? Is it something, do you even know?
To my knowledge, from conversations in the family and whatnot, it sounds so silly, but like the pavement of the park.
That doesn't sound silly.
Yeah.
So
it used to just be like pavement, like street.
Oh, so they made it all nice. I know when you're back, you feel like you're in the backyard.
And I remember my dad always says it. He's like, that was one of the best things we've done. And I mean, years ago, now it's bricks. You don't even think twice about it.
Right.
But it just
adds to ambiance, family.
Yeah, the
So
detail.
is your dad in the business every day? Are you in the business every day? Tell us who's in the business. The family business. Who's
It's
the
a family
family?
business. My dad, my uncle, my cousin, my brother.
We'd be fighting
my
like
brother,
crazy.
my other
Seriously.
cousin. It's truly a family business.
Do you guys
from
get together for the holidays still?
every single one of them?
Really?
Sunday dinners, Mets games, Rangers games.
So
Go Mets, by the way.
Yeah, go Mets.
I own this, but all right.
I got to ask, as a business owner working with your family, how do you juggle a family life with your entrepreneur life?
Everyone asks that. It's a great question. And a lot of it blends. It starts at home because our business conversations, they start at the dinner table. They
Thank God not at
continue.
the breakfast table. You have some time to relax.
I don't eat breakfast. But yeah, they do. Everything's pretty much starts at home and you carry it into the park, and your ideas are really, a lot of our ideas are manifested at home.
It's the best time.
It is.
You can reflect on the day. Everybody's together, different departments, seeing what transpired.
Yeah.
You're hearing what the customers are saying. I think I told you when we sat in the front, my daughter worked at Adventureland, I think for 5 or 6 years. She loved it, experience.
Yeah.
And it taught her a lot. But one thing I remember my daughter saying to me is, no matter how hot it was, the smile on everybody's face.
That's
and
important.
I guess,
It is so important.
is that your sense of accomplishment?
I think it is. I mean, being able to do what we do and seeing families coming into our family business and enjoying the park the way I used to enjoy it with my family and my friends, I mean, it's really just priceless.
Yeah.
It's when kids are laughing, when they're screaming, we say screaming is great because that's a sign of having fun at the park.
100%.
So we love hearing screams, smiles, laughs. It's just great. They're coming into our home with our family, and
Love it.
everyone's family when you're inside our gates.
I love that.
Now, you mentioned before when we were talking that, and if you're just tuning in, we're here with Janine Gentile from Adventureland.
Janine Gentile.
How
Private
has,
joke.
I mean, technology has really been changed since you guys have opened. And
They didn't even have flooring when they opened.
Right.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's changed a little bit.
What would you say is the biggest technological change that you guys have done to the park since opening?
Technology is a great benefit and a great challenge at the same time. It's helped in many ways. Our ticketing system has gone from A to Z.
Yeah.
It started at the bottom, and now we're all the way up to online ticketing, which is,
Awesome.
it sounds like, oh, no brainer. Of course you have an online ticketing system, but only a few years ago we didn't.
No, you don't snap your fingers in the online.
No, my God,
system.
we're still learning the system.
Of
We're
course.
still learning the ins and
I'm
outs.
still learning
and-
email. I understand.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, that's probably it's made the business so much more seamless than what it was.
So you're finding you're more productive.
Yeah.
Margins must be up because technology does do
tracking,
that.
recording, and things like that.
Yeah,
Everything is
even-
just
Even that roller coaster you guys have now.
Which one?
They had the Hurricane, and now it's Turbulence.
Yeah.
And oh my God, Turbulence! Even as an adult, it gets me excited.
it's a fun one.
Yeah,
I ride Turbulence.
So describe Turbulence to us. I got
It's a roller coaster. It spins. Each car spins independently.
I'm out.
Which I think is why it's so great, because you go on it and you're like, wow, that was great. Let's go again. And you're like, wait, felt like a different ride because
Yeah.
you're spinning
Because each time
differently.
a different
exactly,
experience.
yeah.
Very cool. So when how often do you bring in a new attraction?
We try to bring new things to the park at least every season, whether it be a ride, a food stand, a snack item. I mean, some years it's just an infrastructure year when you
Right.
keep up with all the paint and the infrastructure of the
course.
park.
Right.
It's the details that do go a lot. That we feel they go a long way.
Well, keeping it clean, everything looking new. I mean, you're going there
100%.
with your family. That's your expectation.
People are spending their money to be there, and they're going to get the experience that they deserve with spending their money with us.
So this is $1 million question I have. As a family member, park is closed. Do you guys all get to go on the rides and stuff and enjoy it with your cousins and stuff? That's $1 million question. Because that's the reason. I don't know if you're involved with anybody, but that's $1 million question. A time on yourself in the park by yourself? Come on.
Okay.
I mean, believe
Maybe
it.
not $1 million, maybe a $500,000 question. You're right, $250,000 question.
We easily could, but no. It's like, believe it or not, people think the park is closed. The park shuts down for the winter. Everyone just goes home. We hibernate until the March, and we come back, and
I thought
boom,
you
we're
guys go
open.
to Aruba for the whole
Yeah,
time.
right. That's what everyone thinks.
Right.
There is so much behind the scenes that goes on during the winter that nobody sees, nobody realizes. We're there every single week
every
of the
day.
year,
All year round.
every day.
So
Yeah.
you're prepping what you learned in 24 you're preparing for 25.
Yeah, all the new rides and the new food and the new everything that's coming for the next year has to be prepared at some point.
That's awesome.
Right.
And so you're doing that all throughout your off season. And we're in the middle of a huge transformation and expansion of the park.
What are you doing?
So the whole
You don't know about Legacy Corner?
Legacy Corner, there it is.
How do you know about that? Oh, you're the videographer.
The videographer.
Right. I thought he was sneaking in at night.
No, look, I got my badge.
No wonder why you
I
said
got my badge and everything.
Let me see. Very cool. You can't see that on the radio, but sorry about him. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, our whole Legacy Corner back there is being redeveloped. We took some major rides out last season, and that whole area is under a redevelopment currently.
You didn't take out the bumper cars, did you?
No, those are
Thank
still
God.
in
Those are
place.
good.
Those are
I
a
love
fan
those.
favorite.
They are
They
fun.
really are.
They are fun. Doesn't matter how old you are.
No.
You just want to hit everybody.
Yeah.
That's fun stuff.
So you've been there for a while, and you've obviously hired and fired people along the way.
I just want to ask that question. I've been there for a while. She's born into it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, grew up there.
Who would you say has been your best apprentice since you know?
Probably, I'd have to say my dad and Caitlin. Caitlin in the office has taught me a lot. She's taught me everything pretty much to get me where I am today. And my dad has truly shown me the ins and outs of the business. And
I know your dad, and I got to tell you, he is passionate. You're passionate. The minute you walked in the room, you light up. We say the word Adventureland. You're excited about your family, and we were talking about how we know each other. It's awesome.
What was the best advice that you'd say he's given you?
Being it's a family business, don't hold grudges. Don't hold grudges with your brothers. You're going to get in arguments. Your uncles, your cousins. You're going to get in arguments. There's going to be...
Is there a rule you cannot go home mad?
No, you can, but don't bring it back the next day.
You can take it, just don't bring it back.
Leave it home.
Do you guys, as a family, because it's something I find when we speak to family business, a lot of times people color outside the lines and they don't stay in their lanes. So do you have responsibilities that help keep the peace and ensure that everything's getting done?
100%.
Got it.
100%. I mean, I'll take my dad and my uncle. They do very different roles. Of course, they each probably have comments on each other's role and what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing. Not to each other.
I would love it.
They're open to each other. And at the end of the day, your job is yours. Your job is yours. Get it done.
Love it.
You know?
Tell us about, this is important.
Go for it.
Tell us about giving back, because I know Adventureland on Long Island is so
You guys have your own
wonderful.
foundation, right?
Yep.
Helping Hands, is that what it is?
Adventureland Helping Hands Foundation.
My homework.
Tell us about it.
We created a foundation at this point about 10 years ago, and we raise funds. Everything that is raised through our foundation stays right here on Long Island. We do scholarships to high school seniors going to a Long Island college or university. We do toy drives, food drives.
How did it come about?
So when my grandfather passed, my dad and my uncles wanted to keep his legacy alive at the park. And my grandfather was very big on education and giving back and family and everything that, Long Island.
Sure.
So they were like, we need to do something to keep him here and keep him present. And from
That's
that,
awesome.
Adventureland Helping Hands came to be. And that's what we do.
It's
Education
a Long Island
with this.
staple now.
Right.
It's a staple.
It's
I know
a staple.
Halloween and Easter, right? You get a lot of crowds there, and it's a big event.
When you think of Long Island, I think Adventureland is one of the first things you think of when it comes what do you want to do this
Well, it
weekend?
depends where you're coming from. Sometimes I think about the tolls.
Oh, no, don't think about that.
It's ridiculous.
The traffic.
The traffic I think about. Then I think about Adventureland.
If you could rewind to your first day at work,
Not going your first day. You're not going as your dad's
As
daughter to go
fun.
run through the park.
Correct.
It's time to get to work.
give yourself right now one sentence of advice to get you to where you are right now.
That's a good question too.
Thank you.
I would
Suntan lotion. Where's suntan lotion?
believe it or not, I'm inside, so I don't need it. I have jackets. I have so many jackets in my office. A piece of advice though to get me to today is never give up. Just keep going. You're going to have your downs. You're going to have your discouragements. You're going to have your arguments and guests yelling at you, nasty emails. I mean, it's not all great.
A walk in the park.
Right, there you go.
Come on, that was pretty good.
That's
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
So So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think though, I can only give from my daughter's experience, the positive and how happy people were and the state of mind they're in when they're there outweighs
100%.
And you said screaming kids are good.
Oh, always. I mean, you hear him on the ride, you're like, oh, God, that doesn't sound good. You're like, oh, he's just having fun.
You're like, that's not a kid. That's the guy from Egress Pros. That's Randy. He's that stiff on that thing.
Sometimes the parents yell louder than the kids.
Right.
You know, I am one of those parents. Yeah, absolutely.
I used to like, you have a ride there where it kind of whips you on water, and we used to try to splash everybody. What is that called?
Now the rescue boats. It was the crocodiles. We transformed it into the rescue boats.
And is there a reason for that? Just to give it a facelift?
Just a facelift. Yeah, rides get old. People don't realize that when they get old, it's time to move on. It's time for change, no matter how much of a fan favorite it is.
Right.
Old rides are hard to maintain. They're hard for, like, the weather gets in the way of them. And it's time for a change.
When you do a change, you use the word fan favorite. So when you do a change, like you said, you changed the crocodiles to the rescue boat. Is there any sign or any remembrance of that first ride? Or is it, that's gone, this is what's here?
No, I mean, if you look all around the park, you'll see the crocodiles around.
Oh, they're around.
We keep them. I think when you ride the train around the whole park, you'll see some crocodiles here or there.
That's cool.
And
Yeah.
we do. We try to. I mean, we're a very nostalgic kind of a family.
I love the addition when you guys put in the trains all the little memories, and the informational things.
About Long Island or about the park?
About the park.
The history.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
If you go in the arcade, there's we call it the small arcade. There's like crane games and whatnot, some tables, and lining the small arcade is history boards. It is amazing how many people stop and read the history boards from year to year, century.
Yeah, we got to do that.
It really is.
I'm going to put that up. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
What would you say is one mistake you had to make in order to make it? Adventureland is such a giant staple, but not all goes according to a plan.
Oh, we heard that.
Right? Preach on.
I mean,
No, we'd all open amusement parks if everything went according to plan.
No, that's why mine failed.
Yeah.
What would you say is one mistake that had to happen in order for you guys to get to where you guys are?
I mean, me personally is probably different than the business, but me personally, when I first started, I will never forget it. I work in group sales, so I do a lot with the group bookings coming and going. And this group called, hey, I need to change my reservation from A to B. All right, no problem. We'll send that over. I sent him a confirmation, and Caitlin's like, we're not open that day. Why'd you do that? I'm like, oh, crap.
Check the calendar.
I'm like, oh my God. So we called him back and, hi, sorry, we're not open that day. What do you mean? I just sent out all my permission slips and the buses and this and that. And I'm like, sorry.
Sorry, can you resend everything?
Oh my God. From that day forward, I can know the calendar in the back of my head. I'm checking the calendar every single time.
There's nothing better than learning from your mistakes. You're allowed to make a mistake.
God.
So I'm going to tell you something I did when I was a kid at Adventureland. All right. So I'm telling
sounds
you.
like
When I was a kid, when I first got my driver's license, me and my friends went to Adventureland. I grew up in Carl Place, and you had that Frogger game where you take those rubber frogs and you hit the hammer and they jump. I took 2 of the frogs. I stole 2 frogs.
That's where they went. Oh my God, we were short the count.
I'm the one who screwed everybody out of the Frogger game. It was me. Hey, so we're running out of time. But I have one really important question. Yeah. Give us a one word to describe the feeling of being on B2B with Craig and I this morning. How are you feeling about that? One word description.
Energetic. You guys are bringing the vibes.
We bring the vibes.
Bring in the vibes. I like that. B2B.
And would you like one of these belts as a parting gift for coming on the show? Everybody gets to hold the belt. Hey, so most importantly, tell us, how do we get in touch with Adventureland? Where are you located? How do we buy tickets? Because we just learned it's online. Tell everybody how to do that. And also, is there an event coming up with Helping Hands?
So we are centrally located right on Route 110 in Farmingdale. Best way to get in touch with us, go visit our social media. We're very active. We're very responsive on social media. Adventureland LI. Adventureland LI on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Our website's a great form of information, adventureland.us.
Love it.
And
everybody should like you on Facebook. And
we post
learn
everything. All of our events are opening hours, closing hours,
even if you're
everything.
not a little kid. It's just a Long Islander. It doesn't matter.
And not for nothing, they put out some pretty good reels.
I heard that. I heard they have a pretty good videographer. First and foremost, thank you so much for coming on and spending the morning with us.
Thank you for having me.
We're excited. Love Adventureland. We'll look forward to going there and seeing you, and maybe you can give us. You're not getting me on that spinning thing.
No, we're going to get him on the spinning.
I'm not going on the spinning thing ever.
We'll save you a seat on the train.
Yeah, I'll stay in the train. I'll read about Long Island history. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Have
guys.
a great
It's been
day.
a great morning.
Thank you for tuning in to B2B with Randy and Craig. Looking forward to hanging with you next week.